In this video, we're going to do a quick start guide to the MetaTrader 5 platform. You now have the option of using MT5 as well as MT4 if you're a Switch Markets client. Now, the way to think about MT5 is that it's basically MT4 on steroids. It's a total rebuild of the MetaTrader technology that's been built to look and feel just like MetaTrader 4. With Switch Markets, this now gives traders access to over 2,000 trading instruments, so it is perfect if you're an algo trader. We're going to do a sweep around the platform looking at 4 key areas: the Market Watch window, the Navigator, the Terminal, and the Charts window. We'll then look at how you can enter trades on the platform and finally how to work with expert advisors. But first, we need to install it and open it up. This is going to be pretty easy to do, like any application. Once you've downloaded it from the website, just double click it, and then it'll come up with a dialog box, and all you do is follow the on-screen instructions. Just install like you normally would any other application. Okay, then you should see the application pop up in front of you. You see that it looks pretty much just like MetaTrader 4. If you don't have an account already, you will need to obviously register for one. You can connect to your existing account or open a demo account if you wanted to. Just hit next, select how you want that account to be set up, and then hit next again, and it will give you all of those details. Make sure that you take a note of these details as well so that you've got them for future reference. Now, once you've successfully logged in, you should see all of the prices moving, and there'll be some markets over here and obviously the charts in front of you. If you've never used MetaTrader platforms before, they can look a little intimidating, but don't worry, it's all pretty straightforward. Let's start with the Market Watch window. This is over here on the left-hand side. This is where we get access to the actual trading instruments, the different markets that we want to trade: currencies, stock markets, commodities, gold, oil, depending on what it is. If you can't see it on your window, all you need to do is hit Control M, and that will bring it up there for you. Now, by default, most brokers will only give you a few instruments to actually work with. That's because they don't want to overwhelm you, which is fair enough. So if you can't see what you want, then all you need to do is just right click and go to Show All, or alternatively, go to all of the different options that they give you here. That could be looking for all of the major currency pairs or one of the other options, maybe the crosses, something like that. Or what you could do is go to Show All, and that will bring up the entire list of everything you get access to. So there's an awful lot there. It depends on what you want to trade. You're also able to then move these items around. So if you want a particular list, you can pick one up and you can move it up the hierarchy so that it occurs at the top of the list as well. So these are very, very customizable. You can also change it so that you can look at lots of different columns as well. You can see we've got the price that we can sell at, the price that we can buy at, and also the high and the low. So if I wanted to get rid of those, I just need to move over there, turn off high and low, and it just gives me that bid and offer price as well, which makes things a little tidier and a little bit easier to use. So say, for example, we want to trade with one of these currencies now, like the euro against the dollar. We can pick it up and drop it onto one of our charts, and you'll see that automatically puts that instrument on that particular chart, which is really handy to know. If you double click it as well, it will bring up the order window, but we'll cover actually trading the markets a little later in the video. The final thing that's worth noting as well in the Market Watch window is the specification. This is going to give you lots of hidden detail about the instrument that you're trading. So say, for example, if you want to understand what the swap rates are, whether you're getting paid or you pay to hold that particular instrument overnight, those rates will always be listed down there, or when the actual markets are open and available for you to trade as well. So there's lots of extra useful information on the specification. Next, let's talk about the Navigator window. That's this one over here on the bottom left-hand side. If you can't see it, just hit Control N and that will bring it up for you. This is where you get a lot of information to do with things like logging in, your accounts, opening accounts. If you just scroll down each of these boxes, you'll get access to the different options. So you can go and interact with that account. You can either open a new one, change your password, all that type of stuff. I use that all the time if I've got any problems logging in. You're also going to get a list of the indicators that we're going to be using in the markets as well. They're all sectioned off into different categories, and it's dead easy to work with. All you need to do is select the one you want, pick it up and then drop it on the chart, hit OK, and then you'll get access to that indicator. And it's exactly the same with expert advisors, which are a little bit more technical. That's if you're doing any automated trading. We're not going to do any of that right now, but we will touch on that a little bit later on in the video. The next area we're going to look at, and probably the most important, is the terminal window. That is, it looks a little hidden at the bottom of the screen. If you can't see it, just then hit Control T and that will bring it up for you. You have to lift it off the floor though, and this is where we're going to get access to all of the account information in terms of balance, equity, any open positions that you've got. There's a whole lot of tabs as well down at the bottom, which will give us lots of different options too. All of our account details, the balance, the equity, any open positions or any pending orders that we've got, they will always show over here. You can also double click the orders in there as well, which I'll show you when we put the orders into the market, and you can actually interface with the market that way as well. There's lots of different ones as well. I use this one all the time. History, this is all the trades that you've done over the course of a day, a week or a month. You can then get access to all of that in there as well. And some brokers do supply news feeds as well. That's also accessible there as well. The calendar information here, this is really useful. This is new for MT5. You can get access to that there, and that also populates onto the charts as well, and I'll show you how to remove those later too when we look at the charts. And then from there you've got this tab here, Codebase. This is where you get access to all of the different tools and expert advisors and indicators that lots of other traders have built and uploaded to the MQL5 website. This is fascinating, and when you get into trading and you want to start working with some specific tools, this is a great place to cherry pick one or two ideas. Okay, before we move on to look at the charts, we just wanted to give you a little bit more information about Switch Markets, who are sponsoring this MT5 tutorial. When you become a client of Switch Markets, it's not just a regular broker supplying you with a trading platform and market access. Nope, you get much more than that. You get free membership to howtotrade.com, which means you're accessing amazing trading education. You also get a risk manager EA for MetaTrader. This is by far one of the best risk managers that I have personally ever used. And if you like automated trading, Switch Markets is also expert advisor friendly. There are no restrictions on EAs that you can use on the platform, and they'll even give you a free VPS to run your EA strategies on 24/7. Plus, you get a free 100% credit bonus on deposits up to $5,000. That basically means that you're doubling the working capital that's in your account. And now all of this is built around MT5, the latest technology from MetaQuotes. All you need to do is click on the link in the description section below and download the platform to get started. Now, back to the video. Now let's talk about the charts themselves, the main section where you're going to be doing most of your analysis. You can see it comes populated with 4 charts by default, and you can change this however you like. You can have as many charts as you want, or you can have just a single one. Let me show you how we can start working with them and then build your own templates for how you want to use them. So if you go to the Market Watch window, let's just right click on Euro Dollar, and let's just go to Chart Window. And that's going to open a fresh new chart for the Euro Dollar. Just hit this symbol in the corner, and we just make that full screen. The other charts, they're still there, but this one is just covering everything. First thing I always do is hit Control G. That just gets rid of that grid, just cleans the whole chart up, and so it makes it easy to work with. These are the 2 most important buttons, and most people, when they're learning MetaTrader 4 and 5, they kind of skip over this and they don't understand exactly what they do. It's dead easy. When you are using your chart, you can scroll the scale like that and make the candles fatter or smaller, but this here is super useful to understand. When you're working with the live market, you can often find that it's very close to the scale, and when we're forecasting and analyzing markets, we need a bit of space to do some work. So that's what this button here is for. It's got a really interesting title, Shift End of the Chart from Right Border, and that just moves the price action back inwards a little bit. You'll see there's a little arrow right at the top here, and we can define what that space is. I use it every single day. It's super useful. The other one is this one here next to it. It's called scroll the chart to the end on tick incoming. Now, MetaTrader works by constantly getting new information coming in over your internet connection, and it cycles through the entire system every time that happens. So as a result, if that was clicked on, what it's going to do, it's going to keep snapping back to the current time and price that is trading. So if you decide that you want to scroll back, you hold down your mouse and scroll backwards. If you let go, as soon as another tick comes in on the market, you'll see it snaps back like that. If you're doing some historical analysis, that gets really irritating. All you need to do is turn that off, and that's going to allow you to move backwards in time, and it's going to leave the chart there. Obviously, bear in mind that the market is still live at the other right-hand side of the chart. If you want to zoom in and out, it's dead easy to do. You've got some buttons up here, and they just zoom into the candles and then also zoom back out again as well. You've also got all of your time frame buttons up here. So we start with MN, which is the monthly time frame. Zoom in there like that. You've got the weekly time frame, and then daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, all the way down to 1 minute, depending on what your trading approach is and what you're analyzing. You also get access to 3 types of charts by default in MetaTrader. You can see that we've got Japanese candlesticks here in front of us, but we could also change that and go with traditional bars as well. That's an interesting way of looking at a more old-fashioned way of looking at the price action. And also, if you want to keep things incredibly simple, you could also just use a line chart, which is just showing us the close of each candle, which is an interesting way of looking at the market too. Now, if you want to change the colors, everything on the charts is basically accessible by right-clicking. So if you right-click on the chart and you go down to properties, or hit the F8 key, you'll get access to everything that you need in terms of changing the colors and making it look exactly how you want. So quite often they give you a few default schemes as well. So we could say, for example, we wanted to work with black and white charts, which is a standard way of doing it, and we wanted to change the line chart, I don't know, to a different color, like that magenta color there. That would obviously do that you can see. What we could then do from here is we could then populate this chart with some of the indicators that we wanted as well. So if you remember this Navigator window over here on the left, I could scroll that down and I could add a MACD, which will be at the bottom, and maybe I want the signal line to be, I don't know, that brown color there. And that will then drop that on the chart here. If I now decide that I want to get rid of the indicator that I've added to my chart, it's dead easy to do. Just right click again and go to indicator list. And I can see the MACD I've just added. Click it and delete it. I've also got access to lots of different drawing tools as well, so I can add a trend line in if I want to work with a trend line. You'll see that you can't move the trend line itself unless you just hover your mouse over the edge, double click, and then you'll see the dots that get created. That's where you can start to then grab hold of it and move it around. If you hover over the dot as well and right click, you should be able to then access the properties. Let's change the color of that one to black. There you go. Maybe we also want to add some text in there as well, so we can do that by selecting the text tool and then typing onto the chart whatever it is that we want to do, and then we can add that wherever we need to as well. Now, say for example, I really like that and I want to save that. I want to save that as a template so I can recall it later on. It will save it as it is on that particular chart, but maybe I want to have lots of charts and I want to replicate that setup on all of my different charts. I can save it as a template, and to do that, all you do is right click and go to templates here. If you go to save template, you'll see that it gives us this box here, and what we can do is we can type in test, save, and that means now when I go to one of the other charts, if I was to right click and go to template, you'll see that I can find my template there, hit test, and it brings the exact same colors and objects and stuff onto that particular asset as well. So again, that's really super useful to know. Finally, if things start to get a little bit messy and you decide that you've got too many things on your screen, there's a really super quick way of just tidying everything up. If you go to Window, you'll see these buttons up here, cascade, and will arrange the charts that you've got open in this sort of waterfall effect. But these are the ones that I use very, very frequently. I just hit Alt-R or hit tile window, and that will organize everything that you've got open in a nice, neat line. Or alternatively, what you maybe want to do is then tile vertically, and it will give you every single market then, or for the charts that you got open in this sort of vertical arrangement. And it's the same if you want to work horizontally. That is incredibly useful. I use it all the time. Let's now talk about trading on the platform. Now, with most things in MetaTrader, there's multiple ways of achieving the same goal. And when you're entering orders and buying and selling, it's no different. There's lots of different ways of doing that. I'm going to show you some of the basic ones just to get you up and running. So let's start by bringing up a chart of euro dollar. Just going to open that chart there. Now, the first and probably the easiest way of doing that is using the quick order buttons. If you can't see them on your screen, as we can't here, it's these boxes that flash in the corner. All you need to do is hit Alt and T, and that will bring those boxes up there. Select the size that you want. So let's put a full-sized position on there. And if I hit buy now, you'll see, because I've only just downloaded this platform for the first time, it's just brought this little disclaimer box asking me to accept the terms and conditions, and that's obviously something I'm going to need to do. But that only occurs one time, the first time you use this function. So I just hit accept and OK. And now when I hit the buy and sell button, I should be able to get live into the market. So let's do that now. There you go. It's drawn a line on the chart there. You can see that shows us where we are long euro dollar. And also, if I now drag up my terminal window, as I said right at the very beginning, if you put on the trade tab down here, you'll now see that I have that position open. It tells me the time and the date, also which direction we're going in, the volume, the quantity that I'm trading, the price that I traded at, and my current P&L. And if I wanted to close my position right now, that's the price that I would currently get if I wanted to close it. So let's say, for example, that I actually want to close that now. There's different ways that I can do that. One of the easiest ways, and it's usually the way that I do it, is actually just hit this little X button here in the corner. As soon as you hit that, it closes the position. Another quick way of entering an order is also hitting the F9 button. As soon as you do that, it brings up this traditional order ticket window, which allows us to get access to all of the different types of functionality, as in adding in limit orders, orders that are away from the market rather than just going in live at the current market price. You can get access to all of that there. So say, for example, I want to add a market order now. I want to go long the market again, but this time I'd like to add a stop loss and a take profit, so I can also manage my risk. So I can do that by entering the stop loss level and take profit target in these boxes here. So say, for example, I've got my stop loss at 109.29, and then also my take profit target, maybe at this swing high here, 109.63. Now when I hit the buy or sell button, you should see, there we go. So I've got now my position back in the market, but this time I've added a stop loss down here. So if the market falls against me, it will take me out of the market. And also I've got a take profit. So if the market rallies from here, we'll also make money on the position. That's basically how that works. Now you can also move and alter these from the chart directly. If you just hover your mouse over the top of the line that's created, just drag it down, and I've actually changed my stop loss level. And the same with the take profit target. That is a very useful way of managing the actual order. Let's try a different way of closing the position as well. If I just hover my mouse over the actual price that I went in at, over this green line, I can actually close my position. I can add a trading stop if I want, or I can go back and modify the order as well, which gives me an extra layer of control as well. So let's just hit close now. And again, that position has now disappeared from the trade window. Let's have a look historically at what we've just done. You can see we've got a couple of positions in there. And if I right click in there, I can access various levels of the history of the account. That might be the complete history, or maybe just the last month, or a custom period that I decide to look at. The final aspect to talk about is expert advisors, or any custom built indicators that you're importing into the platform. Now I've got here the risk manager from the How to Trade website. This is the MT5 version. If you double click it, go to the MQL5 folder, you'll see the experts folder. This is our expert advisor. That's the file I need to get into the program. So if I just bring down my terminal window, you'll see the expert advisors section there, and that's where we're aiming to put that risk manager. To get there, you need to go up to File and Open Data Folder, or Control-Shift-D. That's going to bring up the main folder structure for the MetaTrader platform. If you then click MQL5 and then click Experts and then Advisors, you'll see that's the folder that we need to drop our risk manager into. So it's just a simple case of picking up the file, moving it over and dropping it in. That should all work fine. Then you need to go back to the platform, go to the Navigator, and then if you right click on the Expert Advisor folder, there's a button here, Refresh. If you refresh that, you can now see the Risk Manager is now imported into MT5. You can then drag that onto your charts, or if it's an indicator, you can put it onto your charts, whatever it is you need to do with that custom bit of coding that you're importing. But that is how we get it into the platform. So that is a very quick look at all of the different areas of MetaTrader 5 and also getting up and running if you've never done it before. It is a superb trading platform, and with switch markets now, all clients have access to over 2,000 different trading instruments. So if you are an algo trader, this is the platform for you. So that is a very quick look at all of the different areas of MetaTrader 5 and also how to get up and running if you've never done it before. It is a superb trading platform, and with switch markets, all clients now have access to over 2,000 different trading instruments. So if you're an algo trader, this is the platform for you. Download the platform by clicking on the link in the description section, and once you've given it a test drive, let us know what you think about it in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more, and we'll see you in the next video.